Nesters, today I'm going to share with you my Goodwill Thrift haul. This is the haul that goes with my last Thrift to Me. I actually had to do 2 different videos for that Thrift to Me because there's a lot of stuff there and I actually bought quite a bit of things. So I get to show you what I actually ended up getting now. So I had asked you in that video if you thought I picked up the green glasses. I did. So there was a set of 8 of these. Well, actually, they had 4 on the front side, and then they had the other 4 on a completely different area, but I got 8 altogether. They marked them $2 per 4-piece set, so I paid $3 for the entire set of 8 because I did end up getting 25% off my entire order. So I believe these are actually Anchor Hawking glasses. There's no marking on them, but I did a little research and it's the best I could come up with. I saw a couple people that thought that they might be Anchor Hawking, so yeah, I think that's probably what they are. And I really like these. Now, I may end up reselling these, and if I do, I think I could get between $35 and $40 for the set of 8. But I plan to use these for St. Patrick's Day because I don't really like to drink, an actual green drink, and I figured you can drink whatever you want in this and it's still green, right? So you guys probably won't be seeing this until Tuesday. That's when I've been posting my thrift hauls, so St. Patrick's Day will be over then. But yeah, I ended up getting these and I really think those are pretty neat. You guys know I like my green, so I thought that was a pretty cool find. The next item I ended up getting is actually the first item I saw when I walked in the store, and it's this Hollywood Regency mirrored tray, and it's on a Lazy Susan, so you can spin it around. Now, I believe, a lady would have had this on her vanity with their perfumes and powders and lotions and such. So it's in pretty good overall condition. The mirror has a couple of tiny spots on it that, was worn down slightly, but, I think that just adds to the age of it when it has a little bit of patina like that. I only paid $3.75 for it, and I plan to sell it around $25-30 in my Etsy shop, so yeah, I was happy with that find. One of my favorite areas to look at the thrift store is the Christmas section, and I came across these really neat Santa candlestick holders. I thought it was cool that the hand on Santa actually kind of curves to help hold the candlestick, so I thought that was kind of an interesting design. They kind of have a look like, wood carved, figurines or whatever would look like. Obviously they're ceramic, but it just kind of has a little bit of that feel to it, I think. And it does have some wear on the paint. I don't think it's a big deal. I feel like with vintage pieces like this, a little bit of wear on the paint actually, I like it. I think it just adds to the overall character of it. And these are in, great overall condition. Besides that, I have no idea the maker of these, the age. I feel like they're older. The, paint wear helps tell me that they're older. But yeah, I only paid 75 cents a piece for these, and I am going to ask around, I'll say 15 to 20 for the set. Also in the Christmas section, I came across these vintage candlestick holders in this holly and berries pattern. It has this nice gold trim around the top and the bottom here, and I paid 75 cents a piece for these. Now, I know there's a pattern called Winterberry that looks similar to this. I don't think this is actually Winterberry. I think it's called Holly and Berry. I'm not exactly sure the make of this, but I'm positive it's a Japan piece and it's obviously porcelain, so I think they're really nice anyways. I plan to sell them for around $20 in my Etsy shop. I'm gonna hang on to them for a little bit just until it gets a little closer to Christmas, but yeah, I thought that would be a nice item to put in my shop. I was so happy when I saw this at the store. Now, I have the heaviest tree topper. It always kind of hangs off to the side. I can never get it to stand up straight. Now, this isn't that heavy, plus it's a lot taller, so I think it's going to work perfectly on my tree. I like to decorate my tree in kind of homemade and more vintage style ornaments, plus I do a lot of globe ornaments, so it's kind of like a joy to the world, I guess. Joy to a vintage world, I don't know. But yeah, I think this will pair really well. It's kind of like a starburst, like, they would have had in the 50s or so. So yeah, I was thrilled to get this, and I love the gold especially. I'm always keeping my eyes out for things to sell in my booth around Christmas time, And I thought this was kind of a neat piece. It is a candle holder. You guys can see it there. You put like a votive candle in it. And I figured it would be really sparkly and glitzy around Christmas time. I particularly liked that it had a wood base on it. I only paid $1.50 for it, and I probably threw it in my booth and asked for like 8 to 10 for it. So, you know, I just thought it was a cute little item to add some Christmas cheer in my booth when the time comes. So I picked up this beautiful opalescent Brazil vase here, and I absolutely love the floral detailing on this and how the glaze is. Now, I only paid $1.50 for it, and I'm not in the habit to look at comps in the store while I'm thrifting because I've been recording the thrift with me, so, you know, I'm not exactly hands-free to do it. I have my 1-year-old and my 3-year-old with me, as well as my husband, and, you know, that's chaos in itself. So plus I'm trying to shop, so I don't really have time to. So I just kind of, you know, have a gut feeling. I'm like, yeah, that's nice, we'll give it a shot. So I thought for $1.50 it'd be a good thing to pick up to put in Etsy, but I looked up the comps and it looks like there's a ton of these and they don't really go for a whole lot. So what I'm gonna do is actually put this in my booth and I can get more money in my booth. That's one thing I think you can do if you have, you know, the perks of having an antique booth is, you know, there's not a lot of these in my area, so it's gonna sell for more money here, whereas I put it online, everyone has like, you know, there's 500 of them, so more competition, it's not gonna go for that much. So yeah. It's a really nice vase. I'm a little bummed I can't put it on Etsy for, you know, the $12 I wanted, but we'll go ahead and put it in the booth and hopefully I can sell it for the price I was hoping to get. So one of the questions I asked in my last video was if you guys would pick up items that were damaged, if you would, you know, either just buy them yourself if you're at the store, or if you would actually buy it for a decent amount of money online or something if it had some damage to it. And one of the reasons why I asked is for pieces like this. Now, I think it's interesting how the online market is, and I agree. I feel like if you put something on Etsy, it should be in a lot better condition. You shouldn't really have chips and stuff in it. But the funny thing about antique booths, I almost feel like the stuff that's more banged up and, you know, distressed and whatever really shows the age to it, sells better. It's weird. People like damaged stuff in antique booths, it seems. So I picked this up anyways to sell in my antique booth. It was only $1.50. And what it is a nice little secret wine case, I guess, because it has the faux books on it. And it's in great condition. The hinge works beautifully. And it has these cool metal detailing on the top. So something I noticed, because this was sort of peeling back at the corners a little bit, is that this is actually some kind of a leather material that the front of the books are made on, which I thought was really neat. And, you know, had it not been peeling back, I would have just thought it was painted on. But I don't know the age of it, but I really do think it's a, you know, quite older piece. And yeah, you can see on the corners, they're pretty banged up. So someone got some good use out of this. They hit a lot of wine, I guess. But it's pretty banged up on the bottom. But overall, I mean, it still has its, you know, appeal, and you can still use it for a nice little shelf container. And I don't know if anyone would really have books that are quite this tall, but I suppose maybe you could fool somebody with it. So I plan to ask about $25 for this in my booth, and we'll see how it does. So another thing I picked up for my antique booth is this little mini cribbage board. I only paid $1.50 for it, and you know, you do want to check if you pick these up and make sure there's pegs in them, because they're not going to sell as well without the pegs. I have sold them before without pegs, but the boards were much larger and more unique looking. So where this is a smaller one, I'll probably just ask about, you know, $8.99 for it. But the larger ones that I've picked up for, you know, $1 here and there, I've sold for between $20, $25. So they're a good seller in my antique booth. And, you know, if you guys have an antique booth, you might want to look out for those. So yeah, I thought that was a cool little find. So mid-century modern is really coming back in style now. I mean, I've been into it for quite a while, but I feel like it's coming back on like strong. Like it was farmhouse for, you know, the last 5 years or so, but I think you're going to see a transition to mid-century modern. Now, with that said, I feel like bar carts especially are going to come back into trend. So I saw this nice whiskey decanter there, and it kind of has this like ice cube top to it. And this is gonna go in my booth, and I'm planning to make a bar cart display in my booth, so I've been trying to pick up items here and there for that. Now I paid $1.50 for it, and I don't know, I'll probably ask about $12 for it, but yeah, I thought it was a really nice piece, and I'm excited to get that little display together. So I see this video is running a little bit long, so I'm actually gonna divide this haul into 2 different parts, so be sure to check back tomorrow for the second part of this haul. So if you're not subscribed already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.